Peace and elevation, family. It's your brother Mike X. Just wanted to drop this quick message. Family, I ask you to share this video, like this video. I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel. I ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I ask you to take this video and share it on your other social media platforms, whether you're on Instagram. Use your direct messaging, to message this to the people, particularly black people who, you care about, who you respect. I ask you to do the same thing on Facebook. Post the video, share it to as many people who you have on your friends list as possible. And, let's push this message as far as we can push it, And there's no vanity in me saying what I'm saying, because I'm not speaking to promote myself in any particular vain way. But I believe that I was born to find my purpose, to utilize my life, to utilize my skills, my talents, my desire to seek and know and to discern truth, and to overflow, my life force, my life energy, my consciousness, to strive to spark an awakening in the inner city project developments, man, and ghettos where our people have suffered and languished for so long. So I'm in Harlem right now. Over my shoulder, you can see the statue of the great Adam Clayton Powell. Study his life. Look him up on YouTube or Google if you don't know about our great brother Adam Clayton Powell, who was one of our foremost preachers and ministers, and also black congressmen, who did a great and mighty work, for black people. I'm on 125th Street and Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard. I'm at the Adam Clayton Powell State Office Building. Over my shoulder you can see the famous Teresa Hotel, where Brother Minister Malcolm X had offices for his Organization of Afro-American Unity and Muslim Mosque Incorporated. Anyway, family, I know full well, man, that there may be a lot of people out there who probably don't want to hear what I have to say. A lot of people that may come across this message have given up hope, have given up faith in themselves, and feel that they don't have, the power to speak up and to use their lives in a positive way. So a lot of our people are waiting for somebody else to do something for them. A lot of our people are looking to Joe Biden, to be elected and to have enough residue of his former president, who he was a vice president under, to have some type of care and concern for black people. And a lot of people are digging up records of Joe Biden talking about black people and admitting that America has destroyed black people, has reduced, growing numbers of our youth, particularly black men or black youth, black male youth, to the level of being savages, to the level of being thugs. To use his phraseology, it was super predators. And he admitted that he said things like, it's unfortunate that this was done, to them. But the reality is that we have a growing population of savage, uncaring, immoral super predators in our midst. And we need to do our best to lock them away somewhere and prepare ourselves to stop them from hurting good white folk and others, you know. And we should keep that in mind, of course, as we move towards, you know, this coming election day, you know, 2020. And then on the other hand, you have some people I see now saying, yo, man, I'm going to vote for Trump. The Democratic Party never did nothing for us, so I'm going to vote for Trump. Even though we've seen Trump use what's called dog whistle politics. What the hell are you talking about, Brother Mike? You know a dog whistle? When you blow it, you know, most human beings can't hear that whistle, but the dogs can hear it. You know, you could blow that dog whistle all day and all night, and most human beings won't hear it, but the dogs who the whistle is intended for, they'll hear it. So this is a new term, you know, that some people might not be aware of. But what I mean when I say dog whistle politics, Donald Trump is saying things to alert certain segments of the society. The Proud Boys, you know, white supremacists, white terrorists who are armed and who are ready for a civil war. They're not trying to hear no, you know, bipartisan, you know, let us figure out how to create some common ground for the best of us all, you know. In his speeches, in his statements, he has already said, man, that the election is rigged, you know, and I'm not giving up. You know, I'm ready to drag this out as long as it needs to be dragged out. And he's told, you know, those white terrorists, white supremacist groups, you know, to stand by, you know. So for those amongst us, particularly I'm speaking to black people who say, you know, well, I'm going to vote for Trump. I don't know, you know, what that, you know, if that's the proper choice for us, you know. What I really want to say today is, as you black people collectively, or us collectively, or us as individuals, most of all, that you can't depend upon no one saving you. No one can save you. No one can do anything for you that you don't actively commit yourself to take part in. I almost forgot to mention, you know, our good brother, I think, Ice Cube, with his contract for Black America. And through my research, I've seen where, you know, Ice Cube is serious with this contract for Black America. And he sat down with various black professors and others, you know, to dot his I's and cross his T's to come up with a document that speaks to a lot of our needs as a people and as individuals. But again, the problem is that almost everyone is speaking about us or claiming that they speak for us. But none of them are speaking to us, are speaking with us, and striving to engage our minds, engage our hearts, engage our self-worth and dignity, and need to exhibit a healthy self-respect that has been stolen from us, to get us up out of the mud pits of ignorance and mental, spiritual poverty, emotional poverty and chaos and victimhood. Almost none of them are striving to, or none of them are striving to spark a flame in us of healthy Again, self-worth and dignity and self-respect, where we know that no one can save us but ourselves. No one can eat food for you. You know? I mean, once you out of your mother's womb, at least. You know? Once upon a time, of course, your mother had to eat food for you, but as a living, breathing human being outside of the mother's womb, no one can eat food for you and have that food converted into digestible forms, man, to spread the necessary nutrients and minerals coming from that food, man, so that you can survive. Nobody can eat food for you. Nobody can lift weights for you and get you strong. They can lift weights all day and all night, and they will benefit from the lifting of weights. They will benefit from the eating of foods. No one can lift weights for you and you get strong. No one can read and study for you and you get intelligent and you become conscious and aware. No one can study for you. So how can anyone speak for you without your direct input? And if they find you at a level of ignorance and lack of understanding to where you don't know what the issues are, you don't know, politics, you don't know economic policy and how to engage in economic commerce for yourself, to be a producer and a distributor of goods and services, so that you can begin to enter into the open market in society, and you can begin to open up your own businesses and hire your own people and accumulate wealth. And as you accumulate wealth, you take that wealth and you begin to distribute it in your neighborhoods amongst your people, the way other awake and aware people are and do. If our people don't know the issues so that they can participate in coming up with a real black agenda, not having a black agenda created and advocated without their input, then there should be schools, or there should be rallies. There should be in the neighborhoods themselves where our people live. What about Corona and what about the quarantine? Yeah, I get it. But a lot of the things that I'm talking about should have been going on long before this so-called quarantine and pandemic. You know what I mean? So now, we got podcasting, and we got YouTube, and we got Facebook and Instagram, and we got Zoom and all of these types of things. So we can still set up virtual meetings to where we can try to bring the people in the neighborhoods up to speed on what the issues are and help them to regain a healthy sense of self-worth and dignity and a desire, to rekindle the original thirst to know and grow that every child is born with, until they were brainwashed, until they were convinced that you've been nothing but slaves and minorities and second-class citizens, man. Until, they begin to buy into those lies, those slanders, and character assassinations of our people, historically and presently. And before long, they lose their dignity and they begin to submit to the lower levels of the flesh, to being savages, to being ruled by the impulses of the lower flesh. the lusts and addictions, you know what I mean, that will rule your life, man, if you don't have a strong mental understanding, man, of who you are or who you have the potential to be and become. If you don't have a spiritual sense of knowing and believing that there is a creator that created you for a divine purpose, and that you living on your knees, depending upon other people, begging other people to do something for you, is not only an affront to that source that some call God, that some call in creator, but it's also an affront to yourself for you to continue to live on your knees begging somebody else to speak up for you, and continuing to find all types of substances and addictions, to alleviate the pain, man, of living in a world that has you thinking, man, that you can't be the father you need to be for your children, the husband you need to be for your wife, the mother you need to be for your children, the wife you need to be for your husband. So this is why there's liquor stores in every neighborhood, on almost every block. This is why, during this so-called quarantine, that they let the liquor stores open up and continue to remain open. Because they know when you don't have a healthy self-concept that you can rely upon to get you through the tough times, they know, that you need, some liquor or some alcohol, some weed or, whatever substance to alleviate you from the pain, man, of existing but not being able to live. So I don't want to go too far with this, man, but I just want to say to the individuals, nobody can save you. You have to save yourself. If you want to have a greater health and well-being, you have to unhook yourself from the processed and chemical-based foods, man, that they make so available to us in these inner city neighborhoods, man, where we're literally eating death. Instead of eating to live, we're living to eat, causing ourselves diabetes and heart failure and high blood pressure and stroke and all of the things, man, that exist in our neighborhoods, and we're participating in it. Our flesh, our bodies are in full control of our lives, man, making us or, forcing us to eat. And our willpower, our spiritual, mental willpower, man, is not present. It's not active. It's not online to force you, man, to do better, to reject, diets of death and disease. You know what I mean? Mentally, man, we're eating mental poison. We're there for every gossip and every slander and every character assassination. We got our eyes and our ears wide open, ready to participate, man, in divisiveness, in corruption, and putting somebody else down, man, so that we can feel a little bit better for the time being. Coming together through what is known, as I've said before, misery loves company and trauma bonding. We're all jacked up. None of us, man, got it going on. A lot of us, man, are just a stone throw away from poverty if we're not already knee deep or waist deep or neck deep in poverty. So none of us got it going on. All of us, for the most part, or a great number of us, are dependent upon other racial ethnic groups, man, for our paychecks, and for our food and our clothing and our shelter. So none of us got it going on. None of us really can brag about being better than the next person. That's no way for us to continue to live, man. So I say to you, you know, again, no one can save you but yourself. If you want to come up out of the relationship, what was that? That might have been a chill out. I ain't even gonna say that. Some fly, you know, or something that appears to be a fly just flew up in my face. You know what I mean? If you want to save yourself, or if you want to be saved, I should say, you got to start committing yourself to saving yourself. Save your body, save your mind, you know, save your emotional well-being from feeding on chaos and confusion and slander and strife. That's no way to live. That's beneath you. That's beneath the Creator who gave you life, who gave you breath. That's beneath you. Save yourself, man. Go on a diet. Not just a physical diet, man, of eating, you know, edible death, but also go on a mental diet to where you stop languishing, man, in misery loves company's trauma bonding. Go on an emotional diet, man, where instead of, you know, you being addicted to wrath and anger, that you visit not on the people who cause you pain and have disrupted your community and have destroyed your family bonds, but you visit pain on other people, man, who are suffering just like you. You visit pain on your children. You visit pain on your woman. You visit pain on your man. We explode pain and injury upon each other, eating the flesh of our dead brother and sister. We got to stop doing that, man. And we need to reconnect to the God in self. The force that animates this flesh bag that you're standing in or sitting in, however you're viewing what I'm saying. The flesh is nothing without your spirit, without your soul. And your spirit and your soul is a small particle of the divine all, the Creator that you come from. And you have power and ability far beyond what you're settling for. Some say greater is He in me than He in the world. Well, if you say things like that, then you have to begin to show and prove that greater is He in me than He in the world. That means that you're going to have to move on from certain habits and behaviors. First and foremost, you're going to have to move on from who you used to be. The one who was doing insult to your whole existence. Your former self, the way you used to think and the way you used to act, that kept you caught up in actions and conversations, man, which were an insult, again, to the Creator, which were an insult to the purpose from which you were formed. You're going to have to move on first from your lower self, from your former self. And as you begin to strive to stand up and live the life of a civilized individual, seeking knowledge, seeking love, seeking light, seeking truth, and practicing love, light, truth, civilization, then you can begin to move on from participating in associations that are not worth your time, that are not worth your life. So having said that, man, this is Brother Mike X. Once again, I'm in the world famous Harlem, New York, on 125th Street. The same streets that Brother Malcolm X used to walk. The same streets that Dr. Khalid Muhammad used to walk. The same streets that the Honorable Marcus Garvey used to walk. The same streets that Allah, known as Father Allah, or Clarence 13X, the same streets that those greats used to walk. Those are the streets that I'm standing in right now, using my time to hopefully deliver you a message of hope and inspiration. So having said that, I say peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and elevation. Please share this video. Please like this video. And let's keep this conversation going.